Hi again, everybody. This video is sponsored by contribution from Matt, and here's his story. Hi, Ollie. My name is Matt, and I've been watching your channel lately, and it boggles my mind what kind of fucked up people are out there. After watching some of your videos, I finally came to the conclusion that my mother is a narcissist. My story begins when I was 11, and she took me to the hospital telling me that my father had poisoned the meal he cooked because somebody wanted to kidnap me. I truly did not believe her load of bullshit and was forced to make up a believable story for the doctor. My father was later called home by the hospital and informed of my presumed poisoning and reached us there immediately. And when he arrived there, you can feel an awkward sense, embarrassed really. Later that year, my parents divorced, and I lived with my mother until I was 18. I only saw my father in the summertime, and every time I would come back after a 3-month absence, she always kicked me out of the house for at least a week. The last time she did it, she only took me back because my father said I was going to move back with him after the end of the school year. Through all the years I lived with her, she did not work and spent all her days writing poetry and smoking fucking cigarettes, using the money my father sent me once a month for child support. And when we lived off the welfare checks, she said she was going to become a famous writer and be rich. Well, it's been 20 years and she hasn't written a fucking book yet. Anyway, I reconciled with her in 2008 and immediately noticed strange behavior in her. Once I was cooking and she was watching me cook. She came up to me in a deranged and flirtatious way, asking me tips on how to cook. I found it weird because I was only making a simple steak, but then kept insisting that I was burning it. I told her more than once that it was raw, and she did not leave the kitchen until she shut the burner off, as it was obvious that it was raw. Obviously, she pissed me off another time. She blamed my uncle if I don't have an education because he took me in his house that year she kicked me out before moving back with my father. She said it. I saw the smirk. I thought it was strange and she was trying to lie about the past to make herself look better. But she is really convinced she was a good mother, and that me cooking my own meals when I was 15 while she was writing her shitty poetry was her way of teaching me to be independent. Just like my own laundry and ironing and kicking me out was to wake up. Of what, I don't know. After we reconciled, she was living with another man, and I lived with them for a short period of time. After 2 weeks, I got in an argument because I was playing computer games on a computer that, according to him, is not for games, and to don't admit that he's an idiot. He threatened to call the police if he would not win the argument and told me that I was not wanted in that house. And I come last, and I would only be able to dream to be considered at the level of their 2 dogs. Please read this story and tell me what you think. I've been no contact since 2010 and want to send them your video to break the no contact by exposing them, to give that bitch a taste of her own fucking medicine. Thank you and keep doing what you do. You are helping a lot of people with your advice, Matt. And I think he speaks another language, so there's a bit of a language barrier. Kicking you out is just another tactic of the narcissist. It's funny that your father compares you to the 2 dogs, as they would kick you out of the house as you would just pets that pissed on the carpet or did something wrong. Whenever I went anywhere on my own, it was very, very rare to the point where I stopped doing it because of what you experienced every time you went to your dad's. Every time I would come home from doing something fun away from them, I can count on being on the fight coming, being threatened to be thrown out, kicked out, sent to juvenile hall, grounded for nothing. They would pick a fight, and all that is to tell you, yeah, you had a good time with so and so, but we still control you. We still own you, okay? And you better not start questioning. You better not start questioning any of my parenting or anything I've been doing, because you've been exposed to normal parents who actually love their children and treated you like a human being, okay, for a day, a weekend, or in your case, a summer. That's all that is. That's the narcissist trying to fix what they perceive as the damage that has been done to you by being exposed to normal people. The damage needs to be reversed, because to them, what the damage is you seeing how normal people interact, how normal people treat their children and other children. That all needs to be rectified quickly. The second you get through the door, like, no, none of that's real. You're still a piece of shit. You're always going to be a piece of shit, and you're always going to be lower than a dog in this house. Every time they do it. Every time. Because they have to fix the perceived damage caused to you by being exposed to normal people. That's why the attack comes. That's why I just stopped doing things. That's why I try to avoid things at all costs. Except for my friend Matt, who I talked about way at the beginning, whose parents stood up to my parents and told them to go fuck themselves, and basically told them that they were shitty people. My mother would, and then they stopped channel so I could go over there anytime I wanted and do whatever I wanted, because they knew their parents saw them for the piles of shit they were, and they couldn't fight back. Your father really couldn't do that because she had him, because it was a divorce. She had him on child support, so he's limited. She had, I'm sure she had the support of the court, whatever court system was involved. But they need to reverse that damage done to you by normal people, and they got to do it quick. That's why they do what they do to you. That's why my parents did what they did to me, and many of us do. That's why the attack always came when we came home from something away from them. They got to rectify it in their minds. So thank you so much for your contribution, and thank you for the story. It was a really good one. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a narcissist you'd like to expose, or a topic you'd like me to cover, you know what to do with the PayPal and my email links in the description box. And remember, when you do send your story to my email, please include at the top of the email whether it's with or without contribution, and what name you'd like to go by. This is Ollie Matthews. Thanks for watching. See you all again soon.